Hello, all you thoughtfully made people out there. It's Courtney Morrison with Made Architecture and Design, back with another week in review. So obviously, I'm not in the studio. We're here at my mom and stepfather's house in northern North Carolina. My daughter's on fall break, and so we've made it a kind of an annual trip to come up here each fall and visit them and see the house and spend some time here. So I actually designed this house for them maybe about 10 years or so ago, and so it's a lot of fun to come back and see it and see how they use it and what they thought or how they thought they would use it versus how they actually use it. I always think about things that I've learned since I designed the house and that maybe I would do differently if I had to do it again and things like that. But overall, I love the house. It's in a beautiful setting. I've shared pictures from the porch up there. It's really great, and so we're happy to be here. It's also interesting to be here. I'm really down below the house, and kind of in front of me here on the other side of the camera is a little creek. And so we were here 12 months ago when Hurricane Helen blew through. And I haven't really thought about coming back 12 months later and to be able to see not just the landscape here, but in western North Carolina. And sometimes I'll tell people we were here during that time, and they look at me like I'm crazy. But nobody had any idea what that hurricane was going to be or what it was going to become or the impact that it was going to have on western North Carolina when we were here. But the little creek behind us here was just a raging river, totally out of its banks and, washing over the road and things like that. So it was a really wild experience. And even though I'm from the coast and I feel like I've lived through some storms, that one was definitely new to me and a new experience. But I'm grateful for the way the community and the surrounding area has rebounded and how resilient they are. And obviously the house is fine, which we're grateful for, because I know a lot of people did not, they had much worse circumstances than we had here. So anyways, we'll get into it. So last Saturday, my wife was out of town. She spent the weekend with some friends of hers and then came back on Sunday. So it was time, just me and my daughter, which was a lot of fun and I love doing, and it's special for her and I to get that time together. And then on Monday, I worked through the HBAC headquarters project. I did some markups for my project architect in Chicago. I also made some, worked on comments that we got from Sandy Springs for a project that's in permitting there. And then also made some more comments for my project architect for the, grocery store project that I have out in Suwanee. And then I also did some plan revisions to the project that I have that's adding a mother-in-law suite in Roswell, and did a little bit of zoning code research for them. The occupant, she was asking for more. She wanted more things, more amenities, more space, more this. And so I really dove into the zoning code there a little bit to go and figure out what would be allowed. And thankfully, I found exactly what I was looking for, that they're allowed a maximum of 1,000 square feet in an accessory dwelling unit, and we're at 997. And so we really are having to maximize the space that we have and figure out how to get the things that she wants into the restrained, confined space. So I did that, continued on that on Tuesday. Also did some finish coordination with an interior designer for the pizza restaurant for their restrooms that they're going to remodel. And then also did some structural coordination for the historic home that we're remodeling in Marietta. And also worked through some plan changes for a home remodel. I have clients who their in-laws are going to remodel their house, and so I'm working with them to get that done. And then on Wednesday, we issued the schematic design set for the burndown house in Mapleton that I'm working on, and that's coming along really well. I'm very pleased with that, and I think the owner is very pleased with that as well. I also had lunch with a friend of mine who's an ophthalmologist, and he had opened a business and was deciding to close it down. And so I had lunch with him to talk through that and, really just, go through our shared experiences of running a business and things. So that was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to do that. And then I sat in on a webinar that my insurance company, my E&O insurance policy, put on about understanding and negotiating your contract, and really was able to learn a little bit and look at my own contract and hear it from the vantage point of my insurer and what they look for and how they see things. And so that was great. I'm glad I got to do that. On Thursday, I issued the design development set, the DD set for the historic home that I've been working on in Marietta. We got it submitted to the Historic Planning Commission so that they could review it. And so really glad to get that one moving along, or have it moving along. Then on Friday morning, I had coffee breakfast with a contact who I had worked with at a firm here in town, in Marietta, or in Atlanta, who I was doing some contract work with them. She was fresh out of school from Georgia Tech, and she was given to me to help learn and grow and things like that. And so she was kind of my project coordinator while I was the project manager there. And it was great. We had a great connection. I really enjoyed working with her. She's very sharp. She would be a great architect. But she had reached out to me because she had left that job and gone back to graduate school, and reached out to me because she was taking a class on entrepreneurship, and she was tasked with interviewing 2 or 3 people who own businesses, and she reached out, and so we went and had coffee, and that was great. I absolutely loved doing that. It was a lot of fun. She asked really good questions, things that really made me think about why I do what I do, or how I do it, the reason that I do it for, and things like that. So I really enjoyed getting to connect with her. She, it was good. So I'm excited for her to go to graduate school and finish up that part of her journey. And then I left there actually, and I went to Kennesaw State University, my alma mater, and I sat on a jury for a former professor of mine for a 4th year studio, and got to talk to them about their it was early phase stuff, concept, site analysis, precedent studies, things like that. And really what I'm looking for there is to figure out if they're on track to develop a compelling project. And so I'm there trying to give that feedback. Like, where are they early on in the process to ensure that at the end of the semester they have made the progress that they need to make in order to submit compelling projects. And so I've talked about it before. I really enjoy doing that. I think it's great to be able to shape the future of the profession that way, and really enjoy doing it. So that was great. So that wrapped up the week, and so that's all we've got for now. It'll be family time the weekend coming up. So that's all we have. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts about who we are, what we do, leave them in the comments below. I would love to interact with you guys there, or perhaps address a question or comment in a future week in review. And please be sure to like and subscribe. That really does help. And in the meantime, you guys be particular.